the 1960 Olympics in Tahoe, the Russian River used to be the Tahoe of Northern California.
Oh, okay.
It's where all the people from the Bay Area would come, and they'd go river rafting, they'd go dancing, they'd go listen to music, they'd have all kinds of bands here all the time. And it was, you know, it was the party place for people in San Francisco to go.
Oh, okay.
The Russian River.
What year was that?
Oh, this was, like I said, before 1960.
Okay.
Before they had the Olympics up in Lake Tahoe in 1960. See, because that's when they built the highway up there.
The highway?
Highway 80 was the big two-lane Highway 80 that goes to Reno.
Oh, okay.
That was built for the 1960 Olympics to get, you know, cars up to Squaw Valley and Tahoe for the Olympics from San Francisco, from the Bay Area. There was only a one little lane road before 1960 going up to the Sierras. Okay, now look at this out here. See, here we are again. Dry Creek Valley.
Dry Creek Valley.
Look at all the vineyards.
Whoa.
I mean, this is just gorgeous country all the way, Healdsburg, all the way to the coast. We're going right towards the ocean right now. You can feel the air, you feel how cooler it is.
Yeah.
You're getting a breeze off the ocean.
We're going ocean free.
And we're going across the Russian River right here.
The Russian River. We're getting Russianized.
Well, remember when I told you that the Russians occupied California before the Californians did?
Yeah.
The Russians had a fort out at the end of this river by the ocean in the 1600s.
So they were here before the Mexicans.
I think they may have been here before the Mexicans, yeah.
Definitely not the Indians.
No, not the Indians. Now, my friend, Dennis Hill, his vineyard is out here, just a little ways.
Ah,
I'm trying to remember the road that we turn off of.
I see.
I think it was this road right here, yeah. So if you turn right down here, you'll go to his vineyard.
Oh, okay.
And like I say, man, he's got about 15 acres, and he makes about $500,000 a year off of his vineyards.
Nice person.
Yeah, really nice guy. Super nice guy.
I gotta give you credit. You know you won country.
I know it, man. Well, I go back 3 generations, man.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is here. Look at all these wineries. Our Remenda winery.
Remenda.
Now you see why I like this more than Napa?
Yeah.
I love this country.
Well, I always thought Napa was the only wine country, but
This is Sonoma. The wines over here,
Yeah.
man, they're better than Napa wines.
well, I learned something new.
Glad it's still light right now. It's almost 7 o'clock.
Well, about 7:30 it gets getting dark.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so I want to get you to this place. There's a big winery down there. That's further out of town. So where I'm taking you, do you remember the TV program? Dennis is old enough, I think, to remember. Remember the program My Three Sons?
I think so.
Famous television series. It was on for about 15 years.
What year?
Oh, it was on in the 60s and the 70s.
Oh, if it was on the 80s remake shows,
So they had remakes as well. Anyhow, look at that view out there. Look at that.
Whoa.
Look at that view. It's unbelievable. So So Fred McMurray was the father on the program My Three Sons. Fred McMurray was also a Hollywood cowboy, and he played in like over 100 Hollywood Western movies. Huge famous Hollywood actor. He bought 16,000 acres right up here, and he had a ranch. It was called the Twin Valley Ranch.
Twin Valley Ranch.
Twin Valley Ranch, and there was a home on it that was built in the 1830s by a Confederate family that was in the Confederate War.
Wow.
And they lived out here for many years. And when Fred McMurray came out here in like the 1930s, and he bought the property from this family when they died, when the old man died, and he bought it. And then he had this property out here in like the 1930s and 40s, and he met my mom because he would bring his ranch hands in. He had cattle.
Oh, okay.
It was a cattle ranch, and he brought his ranch hands into the hospital in Healdsburg where my mom was the nurse. My mom was the only nurse. It was a one-nurse hospital. And so my mom got to know Fred McMurray and all the people that worked on his ranch. So I told the Gallows about that, and the Gallows said, "Oh, okay, well, we got to take your mom. We bought Fred McMurray's estate. We're going to take your mom out there and give her a private showing of it before the grand opening at the winery." So the Gallows brought our family out here, and my mom, especially for my mom, and gave us a private tour of the Fred McMurray estate.
Oh.
And the guy that's the caregiver of it, I now know really well. His name is Lance. He told me, he said, "Mike, anytime you want to come back, you can come back, and I'll let you on the property because it's private property. Nobody's supposed to go on it, right?" Look how beautiful it is over here, man.
Yeah, it is.
These homes over here are worth millions.
What's that movie you said? Seven Amazing.
The Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to see that. You guys got to see that movie.
I'll get it on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson. There's about 7 professional hired killers.
Oh, okay.
And they were hired by a Mexican village to kill these banditos that were threatening and pillaging and raping the women in the village. And they would come into the village and they would just run over the village and take it over. So these Mexicans, poor farmers, they didn't have much money, but they went and they hired these 7 guys. And they came in and they hid in the town. And when all of these Mexican, gangs would come to attack the town, they defended the town. And it was a great movie. Great
Cool.
movie. Called The Magnificent Seven.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's right around the corner up here. Further. It's 9 miles out of town. Look at that place. Look at that winery.
Well,
Cool place. Yeah, you never saw this when you went to Napa. Look at all this,
No.
man. Look at that out there. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. We're in the real wine country, guys.
No shit, man.
Oh yeah.
These are the Italian this is the Italian families that went back. The first Italians that came over here, 1880s.
Yeah, that's a long time ago too.
Yeah, well, they actually started coming in the 1860s,
1860s.
1850s, 1860s.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the name of the family that owned this property out here before Fred McMurray bought it. But this property is a private estate, and it's one of the estates that these wine connoisseurs will bring the Gallo clients out here. They have 2 big barns on the property. They turn these barns into convention centers. And it's got all the history of Fred McMurray's family inside the barns. It's got all the history of his movies inside there. It's all been professionally decorated. I wish I could take you inside and show you what we got to see, because it's incredible. And so they bring these clients of theirs, and they have these parties and these meetings here. And this is just one of the places. Look at that. It's just one of the places that the Gallo family has bought these private estates. And they have a map inside there, Tim, of all the property in California that the Gallos own. And it's got a map of California, and it shows, Dennis, all the properties that the Gallos own. And I'm telling you, the Gallos own like 10% of the state of California.
Whoa.
It is unbelievable, the property the Gallos own, all over the state. I mean, they are a empire.
They sound like the.
Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah.
I can show you one of the most beautiful bed and breakfasts in the world out here. And I took my mom to it, and I took Uncle Jimmy, and I took Joey to it.
They're wine country. Those.
Look at that! Look at that! Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh yeah, it is. Now it's wine country. They're the Trumps of wine country.
Oh, they are the Trumps of wine country. Yeah.
Have to say it. Go Trump for election 2016.
You don't like that guy at all, do you?
Who?
Trump.
Of course I do. I'm voting for him.
I'm kidding you, man.
He can trump the Bushes and the Clintons. My friends are probably saying, is he crazy?
Look at that place. Beautiful little place. Would you like to wake up every morning and look out at that beautiful vineyard?
That'd be nice. Smell the fresh grapes.
Now, the Russian River is about 200 or 300 yards over to the left.
Oh, okay.
On the other side of those trees.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is it. The Porter family, the Porter Ranch. So right back there was the sign that says the Porter Ranch. All of this property was owned by the Gallos.
Wow.
And the Gallos bought it from Fred McMurray. Fred McMurray bought it from the Porter family. The Porter family was the family that was in the Confederate Army. They were one guy was a general in the Confederate Army in World War II.
Oh.
So this is it right here off to the right. And like I say, the public is not allowed in here.
Wow.
Okay. The gate may be closed. Oh, it's not closed. Okay, see this McMurray?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is Fred McMurray, the actor from My Three Sons, and in over 100 Hollywood Western movies.
Whoa.
Now, private road, no winery, or no public access. Public is not allowed in here, but because I am a Lorenzini,
Yeah.
and the Gallows know me, we're going in.
Should turn my video camera off, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can keep it on.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't let anybody see it though. We get around the corner,
Yeah.
there may be somebody here on the property.